Is everyone good? Everyone's got their water, their pen, their journal. Everyone's comfy and cozy. Awesome. All right. So I think most of you know me, but not everyone does. So I'm just going to introduce myself, kind of talk about the order of business today, how I'm going to be running this beautiful solstice event today. And the sun went into Capricorn about an hour and 16 minutes ago. So we are officially at the winter solstice. We are officially in Capricorn season. And we'll have the Capricorn new moon on, I think it's like 3 a.m, something like that. I haven't looked at the exact time, mountain time, on Thursday, Friday. So on the 23rd. So we're also very close to the new moon, but my name is Jennifer Ness Schmidt. I go by Divinely Jennifer because I think we all have the divine. We're all divine beings. We all have the divine in us. And I'm a nurse and a traditional naturopath by training, but I left the world of healthcare almost exactly 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, when it became painfully clear that I was no longer aligned with the values of the conventional healthcare system, or even a lot of holistic practitioners. I was just like, why am I so out there? So I took a really big leap and I started tapping into my gifts as an intuitive astrologer and a psychic channel. I'm still like owning that psychic part because it just feels so woo-woo sometimes. And I help to connect people to their divine selves within the integration of body, mind, and spirit. And so I really believe that our divine natal blueprint, also known as our birth chart, holds the keys to our greatest gifts and highest purpose. So I really aspire to help women. I think women should be spelled WOMBEN. And I aspire to help star children and light workers to activate and embody our light in service to ourselves, our loved ones, our family, the greater whole, and especially this beautiful new earth that we are all creating and cultivating and birthing together. I also happen to be the proud single mama of 3 young adults. And today is actually the first time we've all been together since we moved to Arizona. I have all 3 of my kiddos home, which makes today even more special as we are gathering here today. But they're off doing their own thing, but they're still there. This mama's feeling really nourished and happy about them being in town. So before we get started, a little housekeeping. Please keep yourselves muted unless prompted to be otherwise. For those of you newer to Zoom, the mute button is at the bottom left of the screen. It's that microphone. And then when you're muted, it's got this slash through it, as you can see if you kind of toggle on the screen. Feel free to be off video for the duration of the call and especially the guided meditation. I do ask that you come off a video if possible, if you go into the coaching hot seat after the guided meditation, so I can interact with your beautiful, beautiful face. And the video button, if you're not familiar with Zoom, is that button at the bottom that says stop or start video, at the bottom next to the mute button. And again, if possible, I encourage you to turn off email, turn your phone to do not disturb, just let go of all those distractions that might prevent you from going into a deep connection with your highest self in the moment, because you are here for you. And you don't have to apologize for giving yourself this time. This is for you, and we all need this. So again, if you have any questions about Zoom itself, you can always pop them into the chat. And before we go into the meditation, I'm first going to see, I wanted to stream this and I don't know if it's going to let me. All right. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. I was hoping to stream it on YouTube, but it happens. And I'm also just still letting some people into the waiting room as they're coming in. You'll see people kind of coming in as we go. But I'm going to talk for a few minutes kind of about Capricorn and the solstice and Capricorn energy and what it means to set an intention. And then after the meditation, hold on, I have my notes here. I'm going to invite a few beautiful souls to jump into the hot seat for some divine downloads about what came up for you during the meditation. And that will allow you to dive deeper into the core of what it is you are calling in. And I'll also be sharing a new and exciting download that I received a couple of weeks ago as we move towards some of the most powerful cosmic energy of the next few months. It's pretty intense what's coming up over the next really 3 lunar cycles that we're going to be experiencing between the winter solstice, if you're in the northern hemisphere, the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere, and through the equinox in March. Really, like March is like, man, if it was a pill, it'd be like what is it in the Matrix, the red pill that you take and it just unlocks you into the, like out of the Matrix and into your real self. That's going to be March for all of us. It's going to be really, really intense and amazing. So then I'll be sending out an email later tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm hoping to get it out tonight because I'm traveling tomorrow. That'll have a link to the recording for today. So in case you missed something today, you have to hop off early, anything like that. That will all go into the email that you'll get after this. So if you came in through Eventbrite, you'll get an email via Eventbrite. If you came in from my list, you'll get an email from my list. If you came in from both, you'll get 2 emails. You can disregard one of them. You'll kind of know the difference because one will say it's from Eventbrite and one will say it's from me. So before we really get started into the juicy stuff, does anyone have any questions? Anything that's burning? Any questions about Zoom or anything? Everyone good? All right, let's talk about the solstice. I'm so excited because it's going to start getting lighter here in the Northern Hemisphere. So the December solstice, it really heralds the start of winter for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, and it heralds summer in the Southern Hemisphere. Lily, are you in the Northern or Southern Hemisphere where you are? In Argentina. You're right at the, oh, wow. That's super cool. Oh my gosh. So Lily just gets summer all year round. I'm gonna have to go visit her. So it's like, that's so magical, right? So she doesn't have either. So she can really use this energy all the time, as we all can. But the timing of the solstice is really determined by the sun's entrance into Capricorn by degree. So Capricorn just crossed over, or the sun just crossed over into Capricorn, into the, we've shifted some things around, but for all general purposes, it's just easy to remember that when the sun hits 0 degrees of Capricorn, we have entered the solstice. So Capricorn, like Aries, Cancer, Libra, is a cardinal sign. And cardinal signs want us to start things. It's very initiatory energy. It's like, even though Capricorn's an earth, there's some fire to it. Like it wants us at the very least to plant a seed that will grow into something marvelous and beautiful and amazing. And, it's an almost like you could call it an invitation to an initiation of sorts. And, if you're like so many of us out there, you've experienced so many initiations on your heroine's journey the last couple of years. And you're like, wait, no more initiations. I'm done. But you might really be feeling ready to put something out into the world, or at least cultivate that seed to grow into something for the world. Which is kind of, a lot of us are ready for something new. We're just like, okay, can we pause the initiations just for a couple of weeks? But, things keep happening. So 0 degrees, and I love that Lily's at 0 degrees at the equator, 0 degrees of any cardinal sign, meaning 0 degrees of Cancer, Aries, Libra, Capricorn, is considered a world point in, on the astrological wheel. So that means the focus tends to be more on what's happening in the world, as opposed to, what's happening in our more immediate environment. So if you happen to be born on an equinox or a solstice like I was, you might have a drive to impact the world versus your more, immediate, intimate environment. I always feel like this hunger to help and impact the world. And that comes a lot from the fact that my sun is at 0 degrees of Cancer. So currently we have the sun at 0 degrees of Capricorn, and the official solstice, like I said, was at 2:48 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And generous Jupiter is at 0 degrees of Aries. So Jupiter moved back into Aries yesterday, and he'll be flying through Aries, but right now he is at 0. So we are doubly feeling this energy of initiation, of starting something, of like, okay, we're moving, we're going to get unstuck. And so maybe you're feeling really restless. Maybe you just want to hide and forget it all with a hot cup of cocoa and just be like, I'm just going to bury myself a little bit longer. It's dark outside. I'm not ready to set foot out there yet. There's so much in the world that's vying for our attention right now. And sometimes we can feel powerless because of all the conflict that's out in the world and that's getting so much press. But hopefully you're also feeling called to use your gifts and focus your energy in a new ways of service over the coming months. I think that's, if we can focus our attention on our gifts and on being in service, it can help empower us in our sovereignty as human beings. So unlike the energy of Aries, which wants us to go big and bold and take spontaneous leaps to act before thinking, Capricorn energy is different. So there's great wisdom in the traditional Chinese calendar, as some of you may know, which begins their new year with the new moon in Aquarius. So in the traditional Chinese calendar, the new moon or the new year is going to start January 21st, 2023 versus now, or versus on January 1st. The traditional calendar is for this first lunar cycle in Aquarius. And there's a lot of wisdom to that. Because with Capricorn, there's this period of dormancy that we often experience before we act. So I encourage you, whatever intention comes up for you today, I really encourage you to nourish this intention like the precious seed or seedling inside you before you act in the coming weeks. So commit to giving it love and energy every day, but you don't have to feel like you're going to act on it. Like if you don't act on your intention by December 26th, you're a failure. It's all over. Forget about it. Why did you even bother setting an intention? Not like that at all. This Capricorn dormancy, it's almost required of our intentions to give them that extra time, because we do need that time of extra sleep right now. And I'll talk about more about that too. Like we just need a little bit more rest when it is so dark for us in the Northern Hemisphere, and also for people in the Southern Hemisphere. There's also this proverbial energy of sort of darkness because of what's happening in the world. The majority of the collective lives above the equator in the north. So that's going to impact the energy of the south. So there's, like I said, there's no immediacy around taking action right now. Like I encourage you to rest, to breathe, to journal, to meditate more than you might normally allow yourself. I know a lot of people are feeling super tired, and we put this pressure on ourselves during the holiday season. Like we have to have it perfect for everybody. But really, if your body is asking you to rest, I really encourage you to act on that, because a lot of stuff happening in the world and our families with our kids. Like I'm part of the sandwich generation. So I've got my kids to worry about and my parents. And it's like, I'm trying to juggle where do I focus my love and attention? So that often means that I just might need some extra time to nourish myself. So as I mentioned before too, so many of us have experienced a dark night of the soul or several dark nights of the soul prior to, coming together today, especially over the last couple of years. So this is part of our awakening and our ascension that we all want to be a part of, but God, sometimes it feels hard. So just give yourself that time and space to just rest. And that will also then help you move forward when it is time for you to start acting on that intention that you're setting. And to my soul family in Australia and the Southern Hemisphere, I know I've got some Aussies who are going to listen to the recording. You may not feel as called to rest right now with the extra sun and warmth that you're experiencing. But I assure you that whatever time you give yourselves inward will be as nourishing as the time you spent outdoors, especially by the beach. If you're for my friends down in, Byron Bay and Sydney and Brisbane and a couple of friends in Perth. So on the coast of Australia. So wherever, wherever you're setting your intention, however you're setting it, wherever you're currently residing, really spend some time nourishing and focusing on the what of your intention. You don't have to do anything right now. Like I said, just take the time to breathe into your intention, cradle it in your heart, feel it in your body. And as you do this, the how of your intention, the how do we bring this to life, will become more apparent over time. So does anyone have any questions about Capricorn or the solstice? Feel free to type it in the chat or unmute yourself. I'm going to have a sip of water. Okay. So you can also take a minute to stretch, realign your spine. Make sure that you're comfy, that your journal and your pens are right there with you so that you can jot down whatever emerges during the meditation. Now, thank you, Janet. I love you too. Before we head into the magic of this guided meditation, remember that there is no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong to a meditation, to an intention setting. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you feel during the meditation is coming directly from your higher self. And you might be tempted to think about what the right answer might be, but try not to answer it with your brain. Sometimes that's easier said than done, but try to see it, hear it, feel it in your body and soul, in your third eye, which is our physical point of divine truth. If you can kind of feel it in this place here, where inside, right in the center of your head, this is really the point of your third eye, and where this information, where the messages of your higher self and your spirit guides come in. So again, I'm going to invite you to turn off your camera if you wish, so you can go inward. And you can close your eyes during the entire experience, or you can choose to gaze softly in front of you. You might want to do both so that you can write down the thoughts and visions and sensations that you feel and that you, as you're experiencing them. So do make sure, like I said, that there's nothing around you to distract you from the sacred space that we create together today. So, all right, everyone's camera's off except for mine. Okay. Let's begin. Take a moment to get comfortable. Whether you're sitting in a chair, on the floor, or lying down, whatever nourishes you most in this moment. Close your eyes or gaze softly in front of you. Connect with your breath. Connect with the rhythm as you inhale and exhale. Feel the breath coming into your lungs. Feel the breath leaving your lungs. Allow yourself to take a deep breath and sigh it out. You can do this a couple of times. Just release whatever you've experienced so far today. It can all wait. Right now, your connection to your breath is the most important thing in the world. Feel your belly and rib cage expanding with each inhalation and softening with every exhalation. Your breath becomes more even now. You inhale in perfect harmony with the exhale. with your exhalation. All is peace within you. All is love within you. You are love. You are loved and held. All is perfect. See yourself, feel yourself being transported across the cosmos through the stars. You find yourself standing in front of a beautiful home. You feel totally at peace and in awe of the house's beauty. Take in the house and its surroundings. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell and feel? What is the outside of the house like? How is the weather? What is the vegetation like around the house? Is there any vegetation around the house? Allow yourself to take in the beauty and peace that surrounds you. You notice that you feel called to go inside the house. There's no fear, only the offering of a sacred invitation. Go ahead and walk up to the front door. There's a key on the table. You take the key and easily unlock the door, which magically opens for you. Step inside the house and breathe. As you walk into the house, you're welcomed by a sitting room. There's a cozy chair in the corner by the window. You walk over to the chair. Take your time. On the table next to a chair sits a book. It's your favorite story. What is the story? You thumb through the pages of the book, which fills you with warmth. Allow yourself to be permeated by the warmth and love you feel from the story. And breathe. As you take in the warmth of the story, you notice that music has started to play at just the perfect volume. What music or song is playing? How does it make you feel? If there is any stress or discomfort coming through the music, take note and let yourself release it through your breath and the rhythm of your heart. That stress is not yours to carry. And just breathe. Now it's time to leave the sitting room. You place your hand on the book one more time and smile, remembering the warmth and peace you feel when reading that story or hearing that story. And you slowly wander over to the room next door. It's some kind of office or workspace. There's a desk and a chair, and there are two whiteboards on the wall. You walk over to the first whiteboard. There are two words written on it. The first word is vitality. What is the second word? Capture in your third eye the first word that comes to you from spirit. Don't think about it. Experience it. The word brings light to every cell of your being. You let it settle within your being through your breath. With a little new bounce in your step, you walk over to the second whiteboard. There are also two words written here. The first word is bliss. What is the second word? Again, there is no right or wrong, so let whatever wants to come in first come in. Experience the love and wisdom of your word. Breathe it into your being. Let it permeate you. And breathe. And you find yourself, as you're permeated by this word, floating over to the desk. There's a calendar, and it's open to December 2023 with December 21 circled. We have come full circle to the next Capricorn solstice. There is a picture of you next to the calendar. Where are you, and what are you doing in the photo? How does it feel to see yourself like this in the photo? What do you remember when you see this photo? As you stand at the desk, ask your highest self if there is any other message that it wants to communicate with you at this time. Continue to breathe evenly. It's okay if there is no further message. It's totally up to your spirit and your highest self. And breathe. You find yourself feeling complete in the house. And you slowly walk back to the front door. You look around the house one more time, and then you gently close the door behind you. Thank the house and your highest self for sharing love and wisdom with you. You feel a beautiful exchange of love and gratitude for one another. You take a deep breath and sigh, feeling yourself being transported back through the cosmos into your physical body. Allow yourself to breathe and integrate into your body. Wiggle your fingers. Hold on. Sorry about that. Wiggle your fingers and toes gently. Stretch if you desire, and open your eyes. Welcome back, my loves. Take a few minutes to write down any parts of the experience you wish to capture. All right, beauties, for the sake of time, I'm going to move ahead to share with you the meaning of what you just experienced. If you're still writing, that's okay, as you can go back to the recording to listen to this part if need be, if you missed some of this. I definitely want to make sure you've captured everything. The house that you experienced is your spiritual home. You can return to it at any time you desire. You can return to it any time you desire inspiration, peace, solace, and love. This is your safe and sacred place in the cosmos. As you evolve and expand, you may find the house and gardens changing, or even the weather. That is all good and perfect for you. Your spirit knows what is most nourishing. Inside the sitting room was a book of your favorite story. This story connects you with the joy, imagination, and love of your inner child. It brings you to a place of innocence, peace, healing, safety, security, warmth, and love. It is the embrace of the Divine Mother. And you can read this story at any time to feel and connect with the joy of your inner child and to connect with the love of the Divine Mother. The music or song that you heard represents your present frequency or vibration. So if you felt stress when you heard the music, that's totally okay. Like I said, we're in the midst of holiday season, and that can be stressful if you're feeling under pressure for things to be a certain way. The good news is music is the fastest and easiest way to raise our frequency. You can listen to any music, you'll know if it's raising your frequency. And even if someone is deaf or hard of hearing, the music can still be felt in our bodies from a visceral level. And when we dance and we move our body to music, we can unlock our creativity, get unstuck, and catapult into higher realms. Now, there were two whiteboards in the office room. One had the word vitality on it. The second word on that whiteboard, whatever came in for you, connects you to your vitality. It brings you energy physically, mentally, and spiritually. It helps you tap into your gifts and the vitality and good health that are your birthright. You'll hear me say that all the time, that your vitality and good health are your birthright. The other whiteboard had bliss written on it. The second word on that whiteboard, whatever came in for you, helps connect you to spirit, the divine source, God, the one consciousness, however you experience the omnipotent love that surrounds us. This word is how you experience the bliss of love that is your birthright, how you can lose your sense of self and merge with universal, unconditional love, that beautiful divine love that exists for all of us. And now we come to the photo on the desk. This image represents the seeds of your intention for this solstice, as your higher self wants you to experience them. An intention allows us to bring form to a dream, a desire, a wish, an idea, something that we wish to manifest and even birth. Remember, right now, this intention is a pure seed of love from your highest self. You don't have to do anything with it right now. And in fact, you may not yet have the details of that intention. You may not have clarity around the details of the intention. It might still be a little bit foggy, and that is all good. So I'm looking at the time here, and I think before I invite people into the proverbial hot seat. No, actually, I think I am going to invite people, and I'm going to invite a couple of you into the hot seat to share what you experienced during the meditation, what came in for you, and to put my astrology and psychic gifts to work. So you'll see at the bottom of your screen, along where the mute and video buttons are, there's also something that says reactions. And if you click on this, then you can click the raise hands button. So that I can, call on people in some semblance of order, of divine order. So you can just use this reactions button and then raise hand if you'd like to go into the hot seat. And I'll have a couple people on the hot seat, and then I'm going to share with you a download that I got, and then we'll go back to the hot seat, time permitting, which I'm sure it will be. All right. Teresa, would you like to take yourself off mute and hopefully on, yeah, Claire's in the bathtub, so she's not going to be on video. But Teresa, if you'd like to be on video, you're more than welcome to be. Hi.
Hi, I'll unmute too.
Wonderful. So what did you experience in the meditation? What came up for you?
So it was like only half of the stuff really. Sometimes I got there and I was like, I don't know, because I don't actually have a favorite story. Um, and the house, it was like as if I was scrolling through Zillow or something. It was just a bunch of houses, like houses I've seen in my neighborhood, houses other places. When you said to imagine the house, it was just like a listings, like just pages of listings. um, and then I guess like on the whiteboards, the first whiteboard, the second word I came up with was love. And on the second one was the second word was independence, which when you described it, I was like, oh. Oh, what else? I think that was all right.
Yeah, what
Is
was in
that
the photo for you?
oh, it was a photo of a hike that I've been planning to do in Washington, but I've been thinking about it for about a year and a half and I haven't yet done it.
Wow. And how did
But
it feel to see the picture of you having completed that hike?
um it felt like, oh wow, okay. It was a little bit shocking, but also, yeah, I mean, I think I could do it. I'm definitely not ready right now. I definitely have to train more, but it's a beautiful hike I've been thinking about doing for a while.
What calls you about the hike? What inspires you around?
Um, so it's a few years ago I got really interested in the idea of going to Nepal and seeing Annapurna and doing a little trekking around there. But I mean, obviously that's a little bit more of a big plan and everything, but it's called the hike is called the Enchantments, and there's
Mm,
actually a hike. It's called Little Annapurna. So it's just a bunch of lakes in the mountains. It looks beautiful.
okay.
Uh, yeah.
So I love the words in particular, the love and the independence,
Hmm.
that when you feel, I think, sovereign, when you feel empowered, that's that's when you really feel connected to source.
Yeah.
Would you be taking this hike on your own?
No, I mean, I don't think I should. I've always been scared to hike by myself, but um, in the picture I was by myself. Yeah, I suppose I could do it by myself, and I probably shouldn't.
What
I
would
don't
hold you
know.
back?
I guess safety. If you're like you have no cell service, I'm I'm not like a survivalist expert. I think it might be safer if I have somebody with me.
Yeah, the physical movement piece for you feels so important.
Yeah.
Like it would be the catalyst to so much more in your life. And to be training and getting ready for this hike would activate everything else in your life.
Hmm.
Where are you now? Where do you live now?
I live in the Bay Area,
Oh, okay. So,
California. Yeah.
so you don't get to use weather as an excuse.
No,
It's too cold
it's
to go
beautiful
out
out.
walking.
No, I grew up in the Midwest, but I finally acclimated to thinking 40 degrees is cold. So,
Yeah, I know. I grew up there too. But there's, what I really feel is I feel the nature calling you, in particular the
hmm
redwood trees.
hmm
So, all up and down coast by Half Moon Bay, Woodside, et cetera. There's all those
Mhm.
redwood trees there, Muir Woods, that,
Yeah.
even going up to Mendocino, Humboldt, it's a little colder up there.
You know,
Um,
Mendocino, I was recently in Healdsburg and I told my friend I was with, I was like, well, now I have to go to Mendocino soon. And I know there's redwoods up there. They got burnt a while back, but that is actually something I talked about last week.
yeah, there's, like I said, I think like literally this hike is going to be a culmination for you. And in the meantime, I think that the intention around moving in nature and literally not being embarrassed about hugging the trees,
I've done that before.
right? Not being,
Yeah.
talking to the trees, singing to the trees. I mean, it sounds so woo woo and out there. And, maybe it is not something you want to do when there's this whole like group family walking by or something, or maybe it is, I don't know. But it's really that to be able to, there's something about that connection to nature. I think, and part of it is the downloads you're going to get while you're there.
Hmm.
Either have your phone with a notes app on it that you can dictate into while you're walking, or, even having a little journal or pen or something in your backpack with your water. But super important for you to that this feels like the walking in nature feels like I said, such a catalyst for you, that it's going to just open everything else up. And you are actually meant to walk alone. But well, let me rephrase that. You're meant to walk your physical body, just you. Because
Yes.
you'll be surrounded by your whole spiritual team who's like, go, Teresa, you got this. And you're like, this hill is too steep. And they're like, we've got you. Come on. Really tap
Yeah.
into the magic of that energy, because I do feel you as you experience these hikes more and more, even in your locale, it's going to really strengthen your belief in yourself and your confidence and that inner autonomy that is calling you. Yeah.
I like that.
Anything else coming up for you right now as I say that?
No, it all sounds about right. It all sounds about right.
Yeah.
Also, something that came up is probably like I kept thinking I was going to probably start dating again. And during that meditation, I was like, I'm going to be single next year too, and that's fine. Like, I think that's, that actually came up, and I feel good about that. That feels fine. But, because I kept thinking I was going to meet somebody, but then I think I'll probably be single next year too. I mean, I'm open to that not being the case, but I feel like it's possible, and that's fine.
Yeah, we'll check back in a few months and see what's
Yeah.
happening for you as you're
Okay.
cultivating your independence and your
Yeah.
connection to nature.
Okay.
Because I think as again, as we make these shifts and really focusing on one, I had a client who, she said, I want to lose 30 pounds. And I said, why? Like, what's your why? And she goes, I want to water ski again. I miss water skiing in the summertime. And she set that intention. And 3 months later, she sent me a video of her on water skis.
Oh, very nice.
So and it opened up everything else then too, being out on the water and the sunshine and everything for her. That was her motivation. So really tapping into for you, what will happen as you're getting out there in nature and walking. And feel free to send me an email if you
Sure.
want some suggestions about good places to hike out there. Cause I
Oh, yeah. I
spent,
mean, I live in the East Bay. I live in San Leandro, so I'm right by Redwood Regional. I mean, I go there sometimes.
yeah, you may need to
Yeah.
cross a bridge to get to the really magical ones
Yeah. Yeah.
or head south. Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of the
Yeah.
ones in Big Bay, the redwoods in Big Basin survived, I hear, but not so much the structures. So
Yeah. I haven't been down there in a while, but
yeah,
uh, yeah, I'm gonna go find some.
awesome. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. And if you want to put your hand down, you just go back to the reaction button there's a lower hand button. Claire, I don't expect you to come on. Oh, there you are on video. Hi.
I made it PG.
That's okay. We're all goddesses here. We can handle it, but I appreciate that for the YouTube later on. So what's coming up for you? What came up for you during the meditation? What did you experience?
I saw immediately a glass house, which I thought was fascinating because who builds a house out of glass? My book was Jonathan Livingston Seagull. And what was the first word, board?
Vitality.
And it connects us to what?
Our physical well-being, the integration of our body, mind, and spirit, and our health and well-being.
Yeah, I don't remember what that word is. Still. So the second word was joy, which is my connection to spirit. The photo brought me to a new friend who I met after Burning Man, who knows a lot about, I think, what my next project's going to be, which is building out a van to go travel. And what was the last thing?
That was it. Oh, the music. What song was playing for you? Do you remember?
It was indistinguishable. It was some form of flute and harp, which is funny because I don't listen to that ever. So I found that very interesting.
Might be something to look into.
Experiment more with, yeah. I mean, I love them, but I don't listen to it very often.
Yeah. So who will you be taking this? Who would you be in the van with? Is that a solo adventure?
Yeah, it did appear to be solo. I mean, it does in my mind at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And what are some of the obstacles you're facing right now around that? I feel like there's a big obstacle.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I don't know the first thing about building out a van, other than some ideas I've heard. And I would like to be off grid eventually. So, both electric and gas options are not great. And so I need a third option, which I think would be biodiesel, but I'm not sure. And so I don't know. I don't know a lot about any of this.
So it sounds like you need to connect with somebody. Would you be open to a van or an RV that was already built out?
Yep. I like the idea of getting skills and taking some time to do it, but yeah, my timeline actually might jump forward soon because of some rental housing issues.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't know, I just see you on this adventure also feels like a solo journey, like a very inward, introspective, needing a rest from humanity. Just having that way to.
Yep, still there. I hit all the major life stresses. My second parent died. I separated. My child flew the nest after 20 years, and I moved cross country and started a new relationship. So yeah, I'm kind of needing to cocoon for a little while.
Yeah. That feels really nourishing for you. And I think I don't feel like you're meant to stay in Asheville, actually.
I'm not trying to.
Yeah, there's someplace else that's calling your heart that will become more apparent as
there's
this
a possibility of a job in Hawaii. So I know that doesn't involve taking the van, but
right. I was just going to say the van would have to stay stateside, stay on the Continental.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. Wow.
I can pick it up with you if you want.
Sounds good. I actually have one that I will email you about. Not mine personally, but I have a friend who's selling her RV, and it's small.
Yeah.
It might be a pathway for you. So, because I don't feel like, I think even though you want to prove yourself that you can do this, I don't know if it would necessarily be in your best interest to spend the time doing that when you could be spending your time on the road. Have already built, going for it, we're off. So if you can, that just feels really, really strong. I really like the glass house in a lot of ways, because glass houses allow the light in.
Mhm.
So it's not a place where everyone can see in and go, oh my God, Claire's in the bathtub. It's really, or what are you doing? It's very much, you're allowing the light in. It is very intimate. So there's this intimacy with your spirit, with your higher self there, that you can just go to this place. And no matter where you are in an RV or in a motorhome or on your travels, yeah, you always have that sacred space.
Do you have any insight into this new relationship? It's been excellent for growth, but it is full of challenges.
Yeah, it doesn't feel permanent to me.
Okay.
Um,
Right.
it feels like that first relationship that there are some things about it that are super nourishing for you, especially in the physical realms.
Yep.
And I think these journeys you take will reveal a lot, and that it's okay to let go of the relationship when it feels complete. You don't have to hold on to it because of guilt or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying to go around and, do anything too crazy, but listen to your higher self, listen to your higher self, especially as you're traveling. If you're in a place of, what's the word I'm looking for? Sovereignty and freedom, where, you can do what you want to do and be with who you want to be with. Also, honor ask yourself, how will I feel about this in the morning?
Do you have any insight into, speaking of sovereignty and freedom, in Hawaii, which is typically not my first choice for that? It's the Big Island, by the way.
It feels like something you should check out,
Mm-hmm.
so you have clarity on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep.
So go ahead and do. And who doesn't want to go to Hawaii just for a visit?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I do get to go do a job there, but it'll be great to actually check things out while I'm there then too. I'll make time for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, on your travels, you'll know where you want to, I'm not going to say settle. Settling doesn't feel like the right word. Where you want to plant roots.
Okay.
You'll know. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So good to see you again.
So good to see you too, Claire. Congratulations on the move and taking those big leaps.
Thanks. Yeah, you too.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, loves. Before I move on to Lily and Colleen, I just want to take a few moments to share with you something that I downloaded a couple of weeks ago. And, truth be told, setting an intention any time of year is powerful. It doesn't really matter what the astrology is. If we set an intention and we nourish it, magic happens. And the solstices and equinoxes and new moons are really portals into divine and magical realms. And this 2023 is just so chock full of amazing astrology. And I wish I could say it would be less intense, but it won't. It's going to be just as intense as 2020 and 21 and 22. And I think this is the new normal. But one of my intentions that I am nourishing to grow professionally is a new offering, and it's called the Luna Liberation Series. And these are 4-week containers that begin with a new moon and the start of the lunar cycle, so we can ride those waves of cosmic energy that allow us to give and receive in that yin yang, masculine, feminine dance that is our divine nature. It's like so often we live in this world of the masculine that's been our structure for the last couple thousand years, and that's okay. And now we get to bring in more feminine. that sort of being and doing. So this Lunar Liberation series is a new container. It's a safe place where you don't have to apologize for being a powerhouse goddess and light worker. You know, if you're like me, then people maybe have told you that you are too big, too much, too bright, too this, too that. And that can be really uncomfortable and not fair to us. It's like, because we know what our gifts are as a goddess. And, you know, for a lot of us, it's become it's become really uncomfortable. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Claire. We got you, Footy. Claire's a tech wizard. Claire, do you want to work with me? Do you want to help me with this tech stuff? Okay. So for a lot of us, it has become really uncomfortable to play small. Like that's something that a lot of us, I think, have experienced. Like we really feel like the time is so ripe for expanding and up-leveling. So this container, a Luna Liberation series, is really going to help people pinpoint and achieve this one change, manifestation, intention that will unlock all the other desires, ideas, manifestations, etc. Can be related to mind, body, spirit, health, money, work, family, relationship, all the above. So for example, I've been wanting to connect with my own vitality. And after months of prodding from the universe that was getting really uncomfortable, I finally began going to in-person yoga classes again. And this one change, this one commitment in my daily schedule and routine unlocked indescribable new portals of creativity, of manifestation, because of how it got me back into my body. That's what I needed. Now, some of us are really like, we are embodied and we need other things. But for me, I really needed to come back into my body after what was a very difficult August, September, October period. So as we're manifesting this one change, it will help you feel more energized, excited, and empowered about everything else, because you will be embodying your purpose and liberating that goddess within. And I kind of joke around because to me, our divine purpose, spoiler alert, is actually simply embodying love. That is our divine purpose. But there are infinite ways for us to do that over the course of our lives, and that can change and morph over time. So really helping us to connect with our highest selves, with our divine self, and to unleash new realms, new expansions of leadership, of sovereignty within us. So within this 30-day portal, we're going to have they're going to be 90-minute group gatherings, sort of like this. There'll be some psychic channeling and coaching, sharing, networking, connecting in community of like-minded women. I'm going to be offering weekly brief overviews of the astrology and the course of the lunar cycle. There's going to be a group Voxer. So if you're not familiar with Voxer, it's like a walkie-talkie app. It's super cool. And there will be journal prompts each week. So we're going to be starting January 20th. And January 21st, it'll be running through February 20th, 2023, with the option to rinse and repeat for multiple lunar cycles. So you can hop on board for the Aquarius Lunar Cycle on January 21st and go, this is so freaking awesome. I just took a major quantum leap. I want to do this again for the Pisces Lunar Cycle and the Aries Lunar Cycle, and we'll just keep going and going. But these are 30-day, approximately 30-day containers with the lunar cycle. The cost is $494. And anyone who signs up today will also get a 90-minute bonus quantum quarter reading with yours truly, where we look at the astrology for the time between your call to the equinox in March. We'll look and see how it impacts your personal chart and energy, your work, your relationships, health. So there are a lot of planets changing signs. The nodes are changing signs. There are going to be retrogrades, some very powerful moments, including a Jupiter, Chiron, Vesta triple conjunction in March. And all these things are all happening within a couple of weeks of each other. So we might all just need to take our own spring break in April because it's going to be pretty intense. So normally these calls alone are $350, but I'm so passionate about this Aquarius Luna Liberation Circle that I'm willing to include it as a bonus for anyone who signs up today. So if you know this program is right for you, I will be putting the link in the chat for everyone where you can sign up. And if you're not sure, or you're just totally lost on what intention you want to set, even after being in the hot seat, or you just want to connect before you invest, I'll also have a link for you for a free 20-minute discovery call with me. So I'll be putting both of these links in the chat. And also they'll be in the replay email and on the replay website. You know, setting an intention is such a powerful tool. And my intention is that you can liberate your intention through the embodiment in the Luna Liberation Cycle. And it's sort of like, you know, we have this, you know, when you rub the bottle and the genie comes out and you get your 3 wishes, except, you know, the funny thing is with the divine is the support is infinite. So it doesn't stop at 3. It's not like 3 wishes, we're done. Shoot, I granted the wrong ones. What's that movie with, oh my gosh, what was her name? You guys know, oh, Tilda Swinton, she did that genie movie. I haven't seen it yet. But it's like when we work with the cosmos to decide when to take action, when to give, and then also when to integrate or receive or be, this really helps us establish that balance between masculine and feminine, this yin and yang that is part of our divinity. And, you know, like I said, the masculine energies are important for us, you know, to do and help us be of service and live our best life. And they can also burn us out, because if we're not taking the time to be, to receive, to integrate, it can make us super, super tired. So like I said, I'll put the 2 links in the chat. I'll do that right now so you have it. So this is going to be the divinelyjennifer.com/Luna to sign up for the Luna Liberation Circle starting on January 21st, plus the bonus reading. And if you want to schedule a call to just chat and see if this is right for you, you can go to www.divinelyjennifer.com/discovery. And you'll be able to book a call there to see if it's right for you or to get clarity. Okay. And these links will be in the replay email. So I really encourage you to schedule a call. We've got time for another several people to be in the hot seat, so we can go over your what's coming up for you. We've got Lily and Colleen. We might be able to fit one more in. If you aren't able to go in the hot seat, or you didn't have time to listen to the whole meditation, that's okay. You can listen to the replay and then set up a call after that. But I'm super excited for this new container. As it came in, and you know, you're all such amazing goddesses, and I can't wait to help you unlock your gifts and share them with the world, because you are all so magical. And you know, our world needs some help, and we all have our gifts to bring more light into the world. All right, so Lily, you're welcome. Julie, Lily, why don't you take yourself off mute, and if you want to share some of what you experienced during the meditation.
Hi. So first of all, thank you for reminding me to go to in-person yoga classes. I really needed that nudge.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because I did a course with you 1 year ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Venus retrograde, and it just came at the perfect time. And I got the same journal out today that I used the whole way through that course. And so much changed for me through that time. It was part of a bigger picture, but the intentions that I set during that have just changed everything for me in the past year. So the house that I saw, I don't know if it was influenced by your accent, because it looked like how I imagine, I've never actually been to the US, but it looked like a kind of a house in the Midwest in my imagination. So I'm not sure if that was just influenced by people on the call, but it was very cozy. And then I went inside, and the book you said was, when you said about the story, came to mind was Harry Potter. And I thought, oh, it's so ridiculous. And then I thought about it when you said it's that childhood security. And I grew up in England in a time where the books were coming out, and we would line up for them and dress up and everything. We'd be outside the bookshop. And I thought, actually, that makes a lot of sense, because I've been living outside England for 7 years now. And so I think just that nurturing feeling of home, and those books couldn't be more English. So that kind of reminded me of home. And then when you said about the whiteboards, the first word that came up was prawn. And I thought, why on earth has prawn come up? That's so strange. So I didn't think about it a little more. And then the second word that came up was peace, to do with how to connect with the spirit. And I thought that makes more sense. But then when I was writing in my journal afterwards, I thought the prawn actually, because I'm actually pregnant right now. And the first dream that I had where I saw the baby was when I was like very early on in the pregnancy, and it looked like a little prawn. And so I think it was something to do with that. And it kind of made sense to me in that moment. And yeah, I got a little carried away then, thinking about the peace and the meditation and how I need to bring more of that in. And so I didn't hear any music at that point. I started just getting a bit carried away in my body.
All good. And did you see an image in the photo?
Oh yes, yeah, it was me in labor. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because prawns are one of the highest sources of vitamin D that we can eat.
That's what I have a deficiency in, I've just found out. So I'm taking tablets. That's so funny.
So maybe that's what your body is saying, to have a little bit more energy and strength, and, you know, get yourself out in the sunshine. I don't know. It feels really like you want a natural childbirth.
Yes.
Yeah. Bye, Tammy. I hope you set up a call. Yeah, that feels really important. Are you pretty clear on when do you do? How soon?
May.
Okay. So you've got time.
Yeah.
Are you birthing in Ecuador? Or are you going to go back to England?
Yes, no, I'll be in Ecuador. And it's quite common here for hospitals to really push C-sections. So, I mean, we're very fortunate that we've connected with a gynecologist who he really advocates for natural births. But yeah, it's something that's really important to me. Obviously, I know you can never really plan fully, but if I can, then I would love to.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like this is your time to create a birth plan and become as knowledgeable as possible. Mm-hmm. Maybe even looking into a doula, or so, I don't know what's available, what types of care is available down there. But
the doula messaged me today, actually.
Yeah. So for you to know that it's okay to go against the grain of to have a peaceful labor without all the bells and whistles and antibiotics and everything else that they try to encourage mothers to do during a hospital birth. And so that to me feels really important. Like, this is, because actually what's funny about the Harry Potter part is like, yeah, you are a wizard. You know, and the children who are being called in right now, man, they are dynamos. They come in and they're already halfway more equipped than we ever were. We had to learn this awakening and ascension stuff, and they're halfway there, at least. So this soul that you're coming in, and Janessa, who was on the call earlier, she actually helps connect people to their baby spirit, which I think is really cool through her work. So this might be something that you'd want to consider, but I do feel like the natural, by the time I had my third kid, my birth plan was 7 pages long. Really? Through my experiences with the first 2. And they weren't bad experiences. I just really saw this push that I really wanted to advocate for as natural a birth as possible, which included, the baby being put right on my breast, taking herbs right after I was born. I mean, after the baby was born, all of that stuff. So I think for you, what's really coming in is this to remember what a wizard you are and how powerful you are as a goddess, and becoming a mother will activate that even more for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to open up your intention, your intuition. It's going to open up your connection to spirit and the divine. And so, yeah, that really feels important for you to make sure that it's in writing. It's all in writing. And of course, I don't know what, I'm sure you're fluent in Spanish after having lived there for so long now, or finding someone to translate for you, making sure that everyone knows, like, even, and working with your doctor, if there are specific nurses that he within in the birthing center and in the labor, that he knows that, or she knows that you can, kind of request if that's possible. But so that all feels like that. That's where it feels like your intention wants to go.
Mm-hmm.
Is really to strengthening your physical body in a peaceful way. And there are some really cool pregnancy yoga videos that you can tap into on YouTube and other places. And some of them are really woo-woo, but they do bring that sense of peace. So, I would definitely check those out as well. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, and something else that's really accessible here, which is really great, is Temescal is a sweat lodge. And so that's been a great thing to do pregnant a couple of times. You're in this with all the herbs and the extreme heat. So I really enjoy that. That brings me a lot of peace.
Good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Lily. And thank you, Peggy. I hope you'll set up a call too. Pauline, darling.
Well, I was kind of surprised at some of the things after you told us what they meant, what they represented. So the house was just a little small house. I think what was more important to me was the wraparound porch, lots of gardens and wildflowers, kind of breezy, cozy, and lots of color. But it wasn't very big, but it was just like, just felt so good. The word vitality, the word that I came up with was resilience. And you said that's connection to your birthright?
To your physical, emotional, spiritual well-being, which to me, being healthy is our birthright.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the second one, the bliss, the word that came up for me was love. And then the book was called The Book of Rena. And Rena's my new grandbaby.
Oh.
So I thought that was kind of off the top, that it's my connection with my inner child. The music, that was Goodbye to You, My Trusted Friend. It's by Terry Jacks. It's just going through the life cycle of a death. He wrote it for his sister, and that it's like a suicide song, I guess, or like a cancer song. And you said that represented our present vibration. And then the photo was a picture. It's an actual picture. It's a picture of my mom with my oldest daughter riding on her shoulders. And that you said was the seeds of solstice. So what the hell does half of this mean, Jennifer?
I feel like you're really you're torn in many different directions right now. So you're wanting to nourish your own health and well-being. You're wanting to spend time with your new grandbaby. You're wanting to look after others. You're wanting to nourish your own professional adventures. And it's there's not enough of you to go around. So my guess is your cup is feeling very empty right now.
my personal cup.
Yeah. Your vitality cup needs some refilling.
So that's the resilience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's no reason why you can't bounce back from feeling depleted. And it means receiving. It means allowing your cup to be refilled. And I think that what I'm getting from your mom is there are things that you really loved about how she parented and grandparented. And there are things you didn't love. And to learn from her wisdom, both the good and the challenging. So she doesn't want you to follow in some of her more self-destructive, self-sabotaging footsteps. Because this grandchild, again, like the baby that Lily's carrying, these children coming in right now are extraordinary. I mean, we thought the indigos were pretty cool, but let me tell you about this generation. They are really, they're all-star children. They're all here ready to say, all right, move over, you adults. We'll take care of this. And so your connection to the cosmos and to the divine is very important to this child, to Rena. And Rena wants you to help her write this book. And it's very unconventional. And she needs you to help her be her divine self and to model that and teach that for her.
Wow. Because when I first saw the book of Rena, I was thinking like a picture book, like grandmas get. But no,
Yeah.
you just put a whole brand new. Whew.
Yeah, you are here to help her write her story. And in the process, it nourishes you so much because it allows you to drop the shields and guilt and shame and expectations that you have on yourself and play. She wants to learn about the crystals and the ceremonies and the rituals. Absolutely. And she also wants you to play. She's here for you as much as you're here for her.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I wonder what would happen if you kind of put the pause on the pressure you're putting on yourself to be the entrepreneur you want to be and allow yourself to receive for a few weeks before going back to that. Sorry, my dog is going to start barking again. She's talking because there's a dog barking on the street somewhere. I apologize for that. She's very talkative. I don't know where she gets that.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome, Colleen. Does anyone, I was going to kind of wrap things up around 5:30 my time. So we've got about 8 more minutes. Is there anyone else who would like to share their experiences and experience some insight from the universe? Footy, do you want to go, Footy? Yeah, great.
I couldn't find the hand, so I did a clap.
Perfect.
I know. Well, mine was very strange. I don't know if it's because we were talking about snow. The house was like a brown gingerbread house with white snow on the roof. I do not want to go to a northern house. And it was like row houses. All I could see were the tops. But then it changed to a single home. And when I walked inside, it was like the house that I want, on the next street over. There's a house next street over. And I've never been in that house. I just, in my mind, I think I know what it looks like. It's so weird. And when I was in there, everything like, it was funny because like you said, you're in the sitting room. So I was in the living room, but then it immediately changed to the kitchen, which was all white cupboards, white floors, white everything, except for the table area was pink. Well, my dining room is pink. So I thought, well, maybe, I like pink. So maybe that, I don't know. Whatever house I would buy again, I probably would paint the walls pink. But then it was like very similar to my grandmother's all white kitchen. It was all very bizarre. There was no music. There was no book. Oh, and the word, yeah. So vitality was really big on the whiteboard. I saw that immediately. And then knowledge, the word knowledge just kept popping up. It just would not go away. Even for the next word, it didn't matter. That word was there. It was not going to go away. So, but that was it, really. I can't say, yeah, I don't know what it all means, but.
And what was your photo or your story?
There was no photo. I didn't see a photo. I didn't hear music. I didn't see a book. But that word just kept flashing. It was so strange. And I just kept it was like I was floating around the kitchen and the living room. I just kept floating back and forth. It was very bizarre. I felt, I didn't know what to make of that.
There's something very quieting about snow. When it's snowing outside, even if we don't want to be in that weather per se, when it's snowing outside, it does make you want to read and study and learn, or maybe teach too. Mm-hmm. There's something, and it's like when the kids are, it's May and the kids get spring fever and the teachers are going nuts because they don't want to be in the classroom. But in December, when it's starting to snow and there's more, the kids, I've got, 3 kids in school and, they've all had their finals and there's just the time to just kind of, get on the cozy chair and get under a blanket and take knowledge in. So what I'm really getting from that is that, knowledge is important to you and that you do have so much wisdom to share with the world. And when I say the world, it doesn't necessarily mean that you go on YouTube and become a viral star and you've got, 5 million followers in 3 weeks. What it really means is the world around you with others. And I often say that what the world needs is a wisdom council of elder women who can come together the way, the Cherokee women, as they were on the Trail of Tears, they would meet in council every night before they went to bed. And a lot of the Native American tribes, a lot of Native tribes, traditional cultures have a circle of wisdom keepers, of elder women who are there to share their wisdom as grandmothers and godmothers and midwives, whatever's coming in. So as I say that to you, what comes up for you from that?
Not really sure. I love to teach, but that isn't anything new. I've done that my whole life, just about.
Were you a teacher professionally?
Yes, I taught preschool and art. Yeah.
Oh.
I like to play. Yeah. So it's food for thought to think about. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about bringing art to senior centers or to senior communities, like assisted living or anything like that?
When I first moved to Florida, yes, I did want to do that. But now that I'm living with old people, I'm 70, by the way. I don't want to teach old people. And they're too grumpy. I don't have the patience, like I used to, I guess. I don't know. Well, it ties in with what I do now. So, I mean, I teach people how to use their essential oils through play. And I want to branch it to vision boards because I love the arts. And yeah, so I can see how there's that connection if that's what's happening. Colleen would know best because she knows me. Yeah. And maybe the knowledge is, I'm not sure, because it's something that I've been sitting on for a while. It's like, okay, maybe the universe is saying, okay, get up and go do it now, instead of talking about do more. Don't just do a little here and a little there. So
I actually saw you doing essential oils with moms and children and creating vision boards around that with moms and children.
And I have thought about that because that's my comfort zone. Yeah, I have thought about that because when I first decided that I wanted to do this, people know how to do vision boards. I don't have to teach you how to do a vision board, but I want to teach you how to use it and what oils that will help benefit. But yes, I have thought about doing it with moms and kids or grandmoms, grandparents.
Yeah, you have such a warm energy about you, such a comforting energy about you. Yeah. And the beauty is, again, with this Capricorn solstice is that you can let that intention be a seedling that you nourish, maybe create a vision board around it and see what comes up for you.
True.
Yeah. And see if you get more clarity around what's coming up, what's next for you, what the next intentions are. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, this was fun.
I'm so glad you came. Thank you, Colleen, for sending Footy our way. I was on Colleen's TV show a couple of weeks ago.
Definitely a sweetheart.
Yeah. I was on Colleen's TV show a couple of weeks ago, and Mars is retrograde in Gemini. And you hear about Mercury retrograde causing technical problems, but Mars in Gemini retrograde really creates some havoc. So it didn't get recorded, so we get to do it again in a couple of weeks. So watch your emails for that link.
Oh, good. Yay.
All right. Does anyone have any final pressing questions? Julie or Patty, you're welcome to set up a discovery call with me if you want to talk about your intentions. Jill, I know you joined late, so you're welcome to listen to the recording and set up a call with me if you guys want to talk about that. But I'm just so grateful to you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to come together on this most magical portal day of the winter solstice for those of us here in the Northern Hemisphere, and the summer solstice down in the South. And if you're feeling called to jump into the Aquarius Luna Liberation Circle and claim your bonus reading, please, in the chat here, you'll see that link. And again, it'll go out on the recording, which I hope to have out late tonight or early tomorrow. And if you're just not sure, let's set up a discovery call and see where you're at and what feels right for you, what you're looking at for 2023, especially this, these first few months that are So it's like, you know, we got to be careful what you wish for, because they're like, we wish for change. And the universe says, okay, you got it. It can be a little too much. So I really want to help everyone to really see how we can work in these waves and these ebbs and flows of energy, instead of constantly feeling like we have to flow, give. Definitely not the most nourishing way for us to work as women. And you can just send me an email too at hello@divinelyjennifer.com, and we can connect whatever nourishes your soul the most. And in the meantime, I am sending you all many, many, many holiday blessings of love and joy and abundance. And may you feel the peace and love of a very Merry Christmas, of a happy Hanukkah, of a happy New Year, all of these times for us to just stop and treasure ourselves, our loved ones, and the world around us. So I love you all so much. Have a beautiful rest of your evening, and keep an eye out for the replay email, probably in the next, either tonight or tomorrow morning. Mwah.
Okay.
Good night.